It's so good to see you guys. I don't want to set the bar too high, but the last time I caught up with Zendaya, yet another meme was born. Yet another brilliant.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo appreciated it, so that's the badge of honor.
It's a great meme. It worked for so many things.
What a good moment.
Okay, so this is obviously the most secretive, most anticipated film of the year, but you guys are no stranger to this kind of thing. Take me back in the last couple Spider-Man films, or even through the Avengers films, what's like the one secret that was a struggle for you guys to keep under wraps? Was it going all the way back for you, Zendaya, saying that, you know, you were in fact playing MJ? Was it Spidey dying? Was there something in particular?
That was an annoying one, for sure. Because unless you know why my character is MJ, there's really no huge reason for me to be in the movie.
Right.
And I was doing a lot of...
That's a good point, actually.
And I was doing a lot of press for it, which was weird.
They cast Zendaya to play Michelle.
Did nobody tell them about MJ?
Anonymous, mysterious classmate.
Michelle.
So going on the press tour was like, how was it? I was like, I don't know, I wasn't there very long. And who do you play? Michelle. It just was useless. I was just like, yep, it was fun. I just came along.
You did well, though.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the hardest things to keep a secret was the fact that Jake's character was bad.
Yeah.
But the only reason it was difficult was because we were just bold-faced lying.
Yeah. You
we
really
were telling people that, like, he's not a villain, he's the hero of the story, he's stepping up, it's a new take on the character.
Yeah.
I lied so much that I believed that Jake was a hero. And when I saw the film, I was like,
what happened?
Bad person. Yeah, we were talking about it, that Jake obviously has a reputation for being somewhat of a method actor, or has been in the past. So when we were on set of Spider-Man, I got really worried that he was just being my friend because he's a method actor.
And then at some point he was gonna switch.
And like be a total dick to you.
Just be awful.
Right. As soon as the film's over, the eyes go dead. He just walks away.
I had dinner with him yesterday, and he was very friendly.
For sure. Absolutely.
He still loves you.
He's still the
He's just committed to the DVD Blu-ray release now. He's just still in character.
It's still going.
Can you tell when each other is annoyed? Is there a tell?
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes.
What is it? What do you see in each other's eyes?
She is.
They've gotten off book.
It's okay.
He's just trying to do an interview.
But this is great stuff.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Yeah, I think we're doing.
How about this? I'm going to try to stir the pot a little bit. I know there at least two of you are huge Harry Potter fans. Who's the biggest Harry Potter fan on that couch right now?
Probably you.
Probably you for sure. I feel like super duper diehard for sure, but I feel like you too.
I love Harry Potter.
We all love Harry Potter.
I think it's a genius.
Yeah.
When I did this, I meant it's an umbrella. We are all under that umbrella.
But I think you definitely have the most knowledge.
For sure.
Yeah, but saying that, I went to a pub quiz the other day to do a Harry Potter pub quiz, and we all there was like 8 of us went, we had it in a diary, we were all super excited, and it was the most difficult quiz I've ever done.
I feel like they'll ask questions more from the books too, not just from the movies.
But that's the thing, like, I read the books, but one of the questions was like, who was the referee in the 1964 Quidditch World Cup?
And you call yourself a fan? You don't know that? What?
Right.
No.
Embarrassing.
I was very embarrassed.
My girlfriend likes to play like the theme song while she's like cleaning up.
Oh,
really?
Loves to do that.
Flying around on a broomstick in the kitchen.
Tom and Zendaya, you've spent a fair amount of these films swinging around on webs. Tom, you have to look cool. Zendaya, you are free to look terrified. Is it harder to play it cool, or is it harder to summon your inner terror?
Contrary to my laughing face, when I am frightened, I don't really react, okay? I laugh big, this we know, thanks to the internet.
That's a good one. That's a good way to explain it.
But when it comes to like being frightened, I'm not like I don't go, ah, you know, I don't really have a reaction like that.
Right, you go.
I'm more of a like, I'm like, oh, you got me, you know, whatever. And then when dealing with things like, per se, jumping off of a high thing with Spider-Man, my natural thing is just like, let it take me.
Let it take me.
But you see, MJ is not a huge fan of the swinging thing. So I then have to like make myself like be like, ah, which wouldn't naturally be what I do.
Right.
So yeah, I really gotta push it. I don't scream. I don't really.
You don't at all.
I don't really yell.
You don't yell. You're very quiet and zen.
Yeah.
Zendaya.
Right. The screams are on the inside.
When I was doing mine, I was definitely screaming my ass off. Like, I was definitely like, when I was following up with stuff, I was definitely like, what the? And so it was really crazy.
A couple of years ago when I sat down with Zendaya and Jacob, Zendaya, you talked about your terror at Tom's potentially throwing up in his Spider-Man mask and expiring. Yeah. And it seemed like a legitimate thing that has been plaguing you, to the point where you retweeted me again 2 years later saying you're still thinking about this.
And I feel like people are like, what made you think of that? I feel like it's just like a really obvious thing.
Yeah.
And it is actually a genuine concern.
So has this idea now been seeded into your head, Tom? Was this not a concern, and is this now a concern?
You don't
Zendaya
care, which is crazy to me. You're just like, I'm like,
but you can drown in your own vomit.
I just think, I know if it happened, I know what I would do.
It wouldn't work. I'm
sorry. What would you do?
The only thing is that would be scary is sometimes because of the gloves, I can't pop the eyes out. So I'd have to ask someone, can you pop the eyes out? And then I would grab the eye trays and just rip the suit.
Yeah, but as you're throwing up.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell somebody that.
You can't. You're going to drown in your vomit,
That's not happening.
There's no way.
Well, what a way to go.
It's just,
what a way to go.
No.
I nearly did drown in the suit in the first one, though.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing the scene where I was crushed under the concrete.
You weren't in that suit then.
I was in the homecoming suit. The homemade
suit.
In the scene where I'm crushed under the concrete, I was laying face down, and I was really like stuck under that thing. Like they would lower it down, and then they would let me struggle, and I would try and push it, but couldn't move it. It was too heavy. And then when Spider-Man was supposed to then be doing the heroic stuff, they would help me lift it. But when I was face down, there was a pipe that was supposed to have burst that was dropping on the back of my head. And obviously in the mask, as it got wet, the water just kind of built up in the front.
Right.
And I was kind of like waterboarding myself. So I had to rip the mask off.
And that's not even the real suit.
And that's the homemade suit.
It's not even.
It's going to be a lot of years in therapy after your Spider-Man days are done to deal with all the trauma you've been through.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Starting today.
Okay, so like part of the aspect of this new one is obviously the world finding out that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, Spider-Man. If you had a friend in your life that you just suddenly found out, oh, by the way, I'm a superhero, how would you feel about that?
Like kind of betrayed. Like, oh, really? Oh, now? So everyone else finds out before me? That's up.
I'd be jealous. I'm like, I can't be friends with you anymore because I want to be a superhero so bad. And
where's the spider? Let the spider bite me.
Yeah, let the spider bite me.
Yeah.
No. I'd be like, you also have to remember that maybe the reason they haven't told you is that they're trying to protect
you. Right,
so right. Thank you for protecting me. Absolutely. Why did you now decide to not protect me?
Put my life in danger.
Yeah, so actually, that's messed up.
Yeah.
And I want to say, MJ figured it out.
Right, that's true. Right.
That's true. That's true. So she basically knew the entire time.
Just saying.
Yeah, very true.
I love that scene on the bridge. It's so funny.
I'm also curious, Tom, it seems like over the years, I feel like you've become the punching bag for some of your fellow superheroes in the MCU. Yeah. Anthony Mackie just lives to tear you apart.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
He's got nothing interesting to talk about. You have to talk about me. I don't mind.
Yeah, that's still interesting.
Do you not mind? Has Anthony Mackie ever made you cry, Tom? Be honest.
Anthony Mackie and I are very good friends. And we really, really enjoy each other's company. He's probably one of the people that I gravitate towards most when I'm on the set of Avengers. We have a very similar sense of humor. And, you know, of most of the people on the set, Anthony was one of the most welcoming, albeit he did make a joke on the day I walked on the Civil War set where he was like, this is my film set, don't mess around. If you mess around, you're going to mess with me and I'll mess with you. And then he broke character.
Yeah, scared.
And we're great friends, and our kind of rivalry on camera has actually been really fun. And I love taking the piss out of him. He's so easy to take the piss out of.
Who do you think you text the most out of your MCU friends, out of the fellow superheroes? Who do you think you're in contact with the most?
RDJ. I speak to RDJ quite a lot. Yeah, him and I are in touch a lot, and he has been so helpful for me over the last few years with like my life changing. He's also a great friend. He's also someone that I love to just catch up with and have a laugh with. I know in lockdown, him and I spoke quite a lot.
Aww.
He would call, and Harry and I would sit there and tell him about our day, and he would tell us about his day. And yeah, I think of all the superheroes, it would be RDJ.
It's amazing. We've talked a lot about, Miles Morales at some point existing in the live action universe. I'm curious, like, for you guys, would you want to see Miles with your group as the baton is passed, or do you feel like do your thing, and then eventually Miles gets.
Selfishly, I would love to interact.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be
Absolutely.
really cool.
I also think we have an opportunity to not do like kind of like the Bond thing where it's like there is a Spider-Man and then it just there isn't a Spider-Man and then you start again.
Yeah.
Like we've had such a beautiful journey with the MCU. There's no reason to kind of tell a story where my Spider-Man for whatever reason has to retire and passes the baton on to, you know, the next young kid. I think that could be a really cool movie.
The funny thing is that as I think of it, is like we think of Spider-Man as kind of like the kid on the block in the MCU. But now there are all these like even newer folks out there, whether it's Yelena or Kate Bishop or Ms. Marvel. Are there any of those characters that you're excited to see Spidey interact with as we look forward?
Yeah, I think Yelena will be very cool.
That's awesome.
I think that would be a really fun, like the kind of Russian aspect of it to the New Yorker kind of thing would be a very interesting dynamic. I think they have a lot of fun together.
Jacob and Zendaya, for you guys, you've basically been in this Spider-Verse. Outside of that, in the larger MCU, where would you want to pop up? Is there a place for your characters, you think, without Peter even, just to pop up independently?
Oh, that's
man.
tough. Yeah, that's tough. I feel like we're so
what would
like
MJ get up to?
Yeah, that's just so interesting. Like I feel
We're
like
so FOS.
yeah,
you know?
like we're so Team Spider-Man that I feel like it'd be weird to be in some other kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like
I would like to see Ned and MJ like visit Wakanda. I think
Yeah,
they
that'd be a
break
fun
and
place.
lose their mind.
yeah, for sure because they're super high tech.
Like you and
sure.
Shuri.
Shuri,
would have
yeah.
Have a good time for sure. I agree with that.
Building things.
I actually agree with that for sure.
That would
Little
be a lot of
smart
fun.
little kids.
Yeah, so probably.
See, I'd like to see MJ in a kind of Daredevil setting, like being an why can't I speak? Investigator.
Investigative.
Just adding one syllable.
I'm just trying to say
Investigator.
investigator.
Investigator,
But I don't
right.
know why my brain just disconnected from my mouth there. And a detective is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, right.
I'd like to see MJ like be a detective in Hell's Kitchen, like figuring out a crime. I think that would be really cool.
When I was talking to Zendaya and Timmy about Dune, I was trying to pitch you, Tom, as Fade in the next Dune film. Could you or Jacob see yourselves with Zendaya in a different context in Dune?
I'd
would
love
be
to
fun.
just be Peter and Ned in
Like, yo.
What are we doing
Just
here?
like, whoa, what's this thing in my nose?
Oh, it's my snot? Whoa, I can drink my own snot? Whoa, what's happening? Her name's not... What?
Spider-Man would have trouble swinging on Arrakis. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
There's nothing,
Yeah, Lydia.
there's nothing to web on.
He's like
Yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man, dude.
Spider Dune.
Spider.
Spadoon.
Now, do you guys know what happens in the second season of Euphoria, or is it like on lockdown, just like Spider-Man?
I don't really...
I've spent a lot of time visiting,
you know.
so I know.
You know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I can share some secrets.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love to know.
There's some
actually.
great secrets.
That's hype. That's cool.
Sam's actually asked me like what I think, and I'm like, I'm just visiting. I don't want.
I
to
just
get
read the
involved.
lines. Yeah, exactly. So one of the things I love about these films is that, like, as great as the spectacle is, even 3 films in, really the core is you guys and the relationship between you guys. As you've gotten through these 3 films, are you partially surprised, frankly, that at the heart of it is still personal human stories?
I mean, I feel like that was always John's
point.
intention.
Yeah, that was definitely his point from the beginning.
From the beginning is to live with Peter Parker, and you know, in this movie we get a little bit more of the Spider-Man side of Peter Parker, which is we're always on the Peter Parker side,
Right.
you know. We get to know who he is outside of our classroom.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of discussions about it. I think particularly for this movie because it's so ambitious and there's so much going on. We talked about how important it is always to maintain the heart of the film, which is, you know, the Peter side. You know, the love that these people share for each other and how much they care about each other and have each other's back, which is really why most people have their love for Spider-Man in general. Like, he's the superhero that is the friendly neighborhood guy that you feel like is your best friend or is your, you know, brother or whatever, and that's what makes him feel so real. So I think that that's always in mind when we step into these movies. That's the fun part also, is when we're all together and we can do those scenes together.
It is fun.
It's the best time.
It's also fun when we like get
yeah.
that moment where you step out of ourselves and you're like, this is so ridiculous.
You're like, I can't believe the things we're doing.
Like
Yeah,
that one
sure.
scene between the three of us with the box, and we're like, what are we supposed to do with this? Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do with this box? And then you look at it, you're like, wow, we're getting paid to do this, isn't it?
I like that we all swang together.
Yeah, I like
Swang.
Yeah,
Swang.
swangers.
we
Yeah.
swang.
Swung. Yeah.
We
Swanged it in.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
In the spirit of the multiverse, looking back, can you think of like what the alternate reality would have been had you guys not gotten these roles? I mean, I think back, I remember Tom, like you weren't even the presumptive favorite. Like there were other actors talked about, and then out of nowhere,
We're
we
saying
got
the
you.
alternate universe where Timothy is Spider-Man and you're Paul.
And I'm Paul.
Yeah. And I'm still me.
Yeah, and you're still killing the game, winning every award under the sun. Multiple franchises that
In
are
both those
massively
universes,
successful.
I'm still killing
doing
it.
it.
Yeah.
Zendaya wins no matter what. Doesn't matter.
Not
I'm
that
still
I'm
killing the
kidding,
game.
But
That's
You're
yeah.
not kidding. I love it.